Okay, Acorn Brewery, we started in 2003 and started on a small brew plant at the back of this estate, actually. And our first beer that we brewed was Barnsley Bitter, using the original Barnsley Bitter yeast strains.
Fantastic beer that we brew. So as the brewery got bigger, they decided let's move to a bigger plant, which is when we moved to where we are now, which was about 6-7 years ago, something like that we moved here.
Barnsley Bitter, it's certainly our flagship beer. It's a beer that has been around well over 100 years and there's been a fair few interpretations of it. Our interpretation is the fact that we brew it in Barnsley, we brew it with the original Barnsley yeast. It's a beautiful chestnut coloured beer, quite nutty, sort of chocolatey flavours on there. I see one of the biggest challenges has got to be beer duty and the duty escalator that was in place quite a few years ago, and it looks like it's almost come back in again, where we see an increase almost yearly by the Chancellor.
For me, from my role in the office as looking after sales, the challenge has to be the growth in the industry for me. So there's a lot of breweries out here, so it's feeling quite saturated at the moment. So it's a bit of a challenge making sure that our products still get onto those bars. That's kind of where I find the challenge lies.
This current budget that's just been, he put a freeze on beer duty. What needs to happen is we need to be more in line now with the rest of Europe, with the various brackets that we have with regards to progressive beer duty. Ooh, that's a really good question. Probably from my position is learning that you've got to wear so many different hats. I didn't realise how many hats you had to wear to run a business, and I still juggle them now. One of my worst traits is that I don't delegate enough because I was so used to doing it all at the beginning.
When I first started in the brewery, which was last year, Dave said to me, "Why don't you brew?" So I did. Thought, right, well, I'll have a go at brewing. So I did the St George's with him. The first thing he said to me when I goes to the ops is, "Don't put your hands in there yet, let me go get you some gloves to shield your hands." What does he know? He's only brewed for 15 years, what does he know? And straight in ops, it took me about a week to get all the, the residue off my hands.
Hardest lesson? Close the taps, I guess.
Right, my favourite Acorn beer to drink has to be Barnsley Bitter. It's what got me into brewing.
Favourite drink, I have to say, is Yorkshire Pride. Out of the core range, out of the specials, I love the IPAs. I'll drink those all day long, probably too much.
My favourite Acorn drink is Old Malt Porter.
Favourite Acorn to drink would be Barnsley Gold.
Would be, and I did this on a Desert Island Beers question, and it would be Barnsley Bitter and steak pudding, chips and gravy. A proper northwestern meal.
Food and beer pairing, I love lambic beers, so I'd say a Cantillon goes with anything sweet.
Okay, that would have to be a strong Belgian beer with a cheese board.
It's a bit strange, this one, but as I've already said, Yorkshire Pride is my favourite. Can't beat that with a nice juicy steak.
About the only one that we do have is, if you're making a brew, a cup of tea, if you wear wellies, you make it for everyone who wears wellies.
The girls and the lads in the office, if they're in trainers, they'll make the brews for the ones in the trainers. The trainers don't make the wellies and the wellies don't make the trainers.